Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you this morning. We're sitting here talking about the passing of George the Animal Steele, the past, wrestling legend from the early and late 80s. He was a part of the classic era, I guess you can say, that Vince McMahon promoted, where they blended, sports entertainment and basically treated everyone as if they were, cartoon superheroes. I challenge a lot of you to go to your parents, who were fringe wrestling fans back in the day, who used to watch Saturday night's main events or the main event when it used to come on NBC, and wrestling was a real big pop phenomenon back in the 80s. And I guarantee you that they will remember George the Animal Steele as the guy with the green tongue, the guy who ate the turnbuckles, things like that made him stand out, that make him somebody that they're going to remember. George the Animal Steele is the guy that got into wrestling in the Detroit area because of the fact he wanted to supplement his income. He was a teacher and a basketball coach. I believe it was high school, and when he wrestled, he would wear a mask because of the fact that he was trying to hide his identity from the people that were at his school, the students and the teachers and other people around there. They wouldn't come back to him about what he was doing because what was thought about a professional wrestling back in the 70s. But, he became such a big star there that he was recruited by Bruno Sammartino to come to the Pittsburgh area. And then from there was picked up by Vince McMahon and the WWF. He had lots of historic matches against Bruno Sammartino that I've never seen. But I can really remember his run in the WWF, mainly. He was brought in as a heel, and then he had a babyface turn where he was walked out on a six-man tag on Saturday night's main event by the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. He was picked up by Captain Lou Albano, who was out there, and they sort of turned his career around, I guess you can say. From there they started the whole deal with him wrestling against Macho Man, but falling in love with Miss Elizabeth and doing the whole Beauty and the Beast storyline, which went through WrestleMania 3. It was the main setup point of the deal with him and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man Randy Savage. You go back and you watch a lot of those classic Saturday night main event matches. They have matches where George the Animal Steele caused interference in the Macho Man's matches, and that's just what it led to. WrestleMania 3, the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man match is looked at as one of the best WrestleMania matches, maybe even one of the best wrestling matches of all time on a lot of people's lists. George the Animal Steele was on the outside during that whole deal because of the relationship between him and Miss Elizabeth at the time, and sadly enough, I mean, his wrestling career would go on, but it wouldn't go on much longer. I believe it was just the next year, WrestleMania 4, he was in some sort of a battle royal. His Wikipedia says that he never even got into the ring, but he had Crohn's disease, which ended his career. And, even though he did come back for a few minor appearances, he was a part of the Oddities in WWF. He was in WCW wrestling at Three Legends versus Jeff Jarrett episode of Thunder, which was the build-up to... it was supposed to be a Bret Hart versus Jeff Jarrett match for the title, but on Monday... Bret Hart had to pull out due to an injury. On Thursday, on Thunder, or maybe it was on Wednesday. Wednesday was Thunder, right? I think it was on Wednesday. They had the deal where it was Thunder, and he wrestled against the Legends. Jimmy the Superfly Snuka went up to the top of the cage, much like he did in Madison Square Garden, coming off the top. That gave Jeff Jarrett a concussion, and that made the match turn into Chris Benoit versus Sid for the for the WCW Championship. And, of course, from there, Benoit would beat Sid, but then he would quit the next day before Nitro to basically be recruited to WWF as a part of the Radicals, with him, Perry Saturn, Eddie Guerrero, and Dean Malenko joining the opposite side. So, um, what else did he do? That's about it. I remember a very bad DVD movie that George the Animal Steele made with Greg the Hammer Valentine called Gone Fishing. You can check that out on YouTube. It's I mean, there's nothing good about it. There's nothing involved with wrestling about it. But that was it. And he had a great career. He made a good deal of money. He was able to supplement his income. A funny story about him on the side is that when he joined WWF, they asked him to not wear the mask anymore, but he would still be a part of doing his teaching duties. And when press got picked up and they started putting him in magazines, his students used to come to him and say that this wrestler looked a lot like him, and his way out of it was basically asking the students if he was that ugly, and the students, having respect for the teacher, I guess you can say, wouldn't respond. So I don't know if it's a whole deal like with kids and Santa Claus or what it is, but it worked, and we'll see. So rest in peace to good George the Animal Steele, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.